The 6th build of Flight Simulator 2024 Sim Update number 3 beta has just been released. But what is new in this update? Let's roll the intro and then let's look at the details. So what is new in this latest build, which bumps up the version to version 1.5.8.0? Well, first of all, there still is that ongoing performance issues which they're investigating. And I would say they say, okay, that it could cause severe performance degradation around large airports and when restarting flights, and that's due to the additional telemetry which they enabled. Likely you will be mostly affected if you're using the Xbox Series X or S, and the other systems like Stream or PC might be less affected. This is used to collect data, of course, and to understand the issue, because this issue can still cause serious performance issues. In addition to that, they also are looking at the VRAM usage. So if you experience a high amount of VRAM usage, then make sure that you take a screenshot with the DFPS info enabled, which stands for the debug frames per second, and then use the options general experimental, create a report to send a report to Asobo for investigation. Further than this, there's of course the description on how to leave the beta, but hey, you want to make Flight Simulator 2024 better, then consider to stay in the beta because you can help making Flight Simulator 2024 better. As always, there's a reminder of removing the content from the community folder if you're experiencing issues, because that could cause performance issues. So try it always with a clean community folder, that's the recommendation. Let's look at some content. First of all, there's some new content and features. There's an added force flare parameter to the light attribute section of the FX files. This is mostly for developers, but eventually you will be benefiting if you're using one of these aircrafts or airports. Then if we go to the stability and the performance section, there are 3 items. The improved average thumbnail generation time. This is, let's say, it could take longer than normal, but that has now been decreased. And also there's a fix for which avoids freezes due to the airport rendering. Last one is a fix for a crash and exit when external view on glass cockpit was open. If looking at the general bug fixes, there also are some fixes, mainly with controls. First of all, there's the fixed controls infinite loading when going back from the aircraft selector after selecting the same aircraft. And there's the added gamepad air stick control to scroll in the in-game panels. This makes playing on the Xbox likely easier, or of course if you're using the gamepad to control your aircraft when you're playing on the PC version. There also are some specific aircraft fixes, for example for the Boeing FA-18 Echo, the fixed aileron trim issue. They fixed the boarding passenger available in the HC, and there's the fixed floating flight model on the left wing on last LODs, level of details. Then the Cessna also received a fix. They fixed the co-pilot not spawning, and for the Diamond DA62 they fixed an issue where you were unable to set up the passenger before launch free flight in the electronic flight bag. For the aircraft core systems, there's one fix where they inverted the rudder control at low speed on water. That's nice. And also they performed some improvements for the wear and tear, right? So they improved the drift damage calculation to ensure that the drift damage is light at low speed, but much higher at high speed, which makes it more realistic. If we look at the aircraft gameplay, there also are some fixes, although a small number. For the HC specifically, there's a fix for a bug where the HC stopped following the route after an arrival approach procedure was instilled for the first time. And for the traffic, there was a fix with an aircraft array randomly being filled with invalid variations. And that caused some stutters at the airports. So this is a nice one, which could improve the performance at specific airports. The rest of these fixes are all for developers, so nothing special. So that raises the question, could this be one of those final updates before the update rolls out to the wider audience? I would say I'm doubting, because there are still some performance issues, although at one point they likely say, okay, hey, now it's enough, we made a lot of improvements for the performance, let's roll it out to the wider public. Here in this video where we looked at the latest release notes for Sim update number 3 beta, which bumped up the version to version 1.5.8.0. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, then consider to use the like button. And of course, I hope to see you back next time for a new video.